If I were to suggest just one factor instantly making your English speaking way more fluent, native, and rhythmic than you think, it would be using chunks. Chunks help you focus on sounds rather than individual words, which is the most awesome way to double, triple, even quadruple your speaking as well as your listening skills. For instance, this sentence from The Handmaid's Tale, one of my favorite TV series, the actor doesn't say words one by one. Instead, she uses chunks and says,
"They should have never given us uniforms if they didn't want us to be an army."
Today, you'll be taught how to speak like that. I'll open the critical concept of chunks. After that, give you several examples of this The Handmaid's Tale TV series and Wednesday as well, so you can see and learn these chunks in practice. First of all, what are chunks? A chunk is a group of words being said together, a phrase or an expression that you hear just like one word, without any pause in between. They maintain a continuous stream of speech, making your conversation fluent and rhythmic. Some examples could be, as far as I know, or every now and then. We largely have chunks in 3 occasions. First, weak forms. English is a stress-timed language, meaning not all words should be pronounced with the same strength. And this is where weak forms become important. Weak pronunciation forms are discussed in contrast with strong pronunciation forms. To have an idea, look up, for example, the word have in Longman Dictionary. You see here it says we have or even of as the weak form, and then the strong form is have, even as a main verb. We have this situation for had and has to. So weak forms always have a schwa sound. Schwa is written like this, a very short a or a sound, which makes its pronunciation really quick. And you can have chunks whenever there's a schwa. Which words have this feature? Weak forms and strong forms? All grammatical words. I mean articles, pronouns in all forms, prepositions, modals and auxiliaries, but not their negative forms, and the verbs to have and to be, even when they are the main verb. These words are not mainly the key part of the sentence, right? They are there just to make the grammar of the sentence correct. So you can pronounce them as brief as possible. However, their strong form is used when they become a key concept in your sentence. For instance, in this sentence, you, can, to, the, with, and him have weak forms. The only main words are come and party. You have several options. Option number 1, which is mostly used by a native speaker, is making a chunk by sticking all of them together. You can say, you can come to the party with him. You see, it was just like one word. Or you can choose to pause between some of them, not inside chunks, but between chunks. Like saying, you can come to the party with him. Now we have 3 chunks. And as you saw, I didn't say you, I said yeah. Or can, I said can. You can come. And the same for the party with him, right? All schwa sounds. Nonetheless, if it was a negative sentence, like this one, remember, negatives are not among those words that have the weak pronunciation forms, because the negative part of the sentence is like a key part of it. You want to make sure the listener hears it quite well. So in this situation, a native would say, you can't come to the party with him. You see, you can't come to the party with him. Here I again linked all of them together like one chunk, or you can again make 2 chunks or 3 chunks. However, if the emphasis in your sentence is not the word come or party, but it is him or with him, use them with their strong pronunciation forms. So in this situation, you'd say, you can come to the party with him. Or the negative form could be, you can't come to the party with him. Number 2, connected speech. Naturally speaking English is not saying one word, then pause, then the next word, even when all these words are the main words with all the strong pronunciation forms. So what happens? Natives stick words with some pronunciation rules. Generally, there are 5 rules that happen naturally in connected speech. Number 1, when there is a consonant at the end of a word and then a vowel at the start of the next word, you connect these two together. These apples would become these apples. These apples. They asked would become they asked. They asked. Number 2, a word finishes in a consonant sound and the next word starts with a consonant sound too. Here, the first consonant disappears. You don't say make this happen. You would say make this happen. More usual, more usual, more usual. Number 3, when the same letter, the same consonant is both at the end of a word and at the start of the next word, you say just one sound, one letter. Pure rage becomes pure rage. Pure rage. Pink clothes become pink clothes. Pink clothes. Number 4, sometimes when 2 consonants are joined, it is really difficult to say both of them in fast speaking. And here a new sound will be created. T and y become ch. D and y become j. Want you, want you, want you. Create young becomes create young. With your becomes with your. Mind you, mind you. Number 5, when the first word finishes in a vowel sound and the next word starts with a vowel sound, in connecting these 2 vowel sounds, a new sound will be added, which can be w, r, and y. For example, she saw a, like she saw a wolf. You would say she saw a wolf. She saw a wolf. Go up becomes go up. Go up. Coffee or tea becomes coffee or tea. Coffee or tea. Now that we are done with the connected speech, we can move on to the 3rd occasion. Common expressions. Words that always come together, or almost always come together. As a matter of fact, English should be learned in expressions, in phrases, not in single words, like collocations, phrases, idioms, gap fillers, linking words, phrasal verbs, grammatical forms, and so on. You have to make chunks with them in order to sound native. There are countless examples, such as have a nice one, all together. Funnily enough, see you soon. What's your tone? Having said that, you're welcome. Now, the 2nd section. I'm gonna play 2 clips for you. One from Wednesday, Season 2, Episode 1, and the other from The Handmaid's Tale, Season 5, Episode 1. You see how natives are using these chunks, and you can do the same to seem just like them. The first one.
How does it feel?
She didn't say how does it feel. She used the short forms, the weak forms for does and it. Next one is this sentence. Before listening to the clip, you tell me, what words have the weak forms? Let's see.
Like I let your father believe he's in charge of this family.
As you saw, except the main words that the main message of this sentence is conveyed through, the other words can be said with their weak forms. And the last one from this series.
Your father and I will get him settled in.
Can you repeat after the slow version? Let's watch it again in a slower version.
Your father and I will get him settled in.
And now from The Handmaid's Tale. The first sentence is this.
Who would do that?
All of it was just in one sound. Yeah, one chunk. And then she answers,
Happens.
wow, it wasn't there somehow. And then,
More than you think.
more and think are the main words, so then and you would be in their weak forms.
People are breakable.
all just one sound. Yeah, people are breakable. You can practice with these clips or whatever your favorite movie or TV series is and try to make chunks yourself. You can do the shadowing practice. I speak about how to have the shadowing practice in this video, which is one of the perfect ways to increase your speaking ability. In addition, in this video, I talked about the concept of elision. Elision is somehow making short and weak forms, weak pronunciation forms. You can use that elision yourself, these weak forms yourself in your speaking to sound much more native than you think. See you in the next video. Have a nice one. Bye.